Alright, so let's begin with the first feature. In this case, let's start with Cype 3D. For Cype 3D, actually we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe five different new features. I will start with this one, okay? A completely revamped interface for Cype 3D. Yes, it's one of the most important new features in this 2026A version of Cype, okay? Here actually you have a banner for this, less clicks, more results. You understand in a while why we choose this slogan for this new version of Cype 3D. And yes, we have been working in a new interface with new options. And let's take a look on this. But actually, if you look here for our trainings, our courses and seminars and the presentation schedule, you see that there is a specific webinar showing all the details about this new feature of Cype 3D. And we are also leaving the link of this webinar in the chat if you are watching us from the GoToWebinar, and in the description if you are watching from YouTube. Okay, so there is a second webinar more specific showing this new interface, but let's take a look. So yes, I have here Cype 3D somewhere. Yeah, here the Cype 3D. So remember, it's Cype 3D 2026A version. Completely 3D modeling options. Some of them were available in the past version, in 2025D version. So these menus here were implemented just one update ago. But all these ribbon, these toolbars, this toolbar that is available here in the top of the screen is new. Okay, so here we have different tabs. Let's say that we have here different tabs. These tabs, they are they try to follow the order, the normal order of a project. So usually we start defining the main properties of the project, then we introduce the geometry of the structure, then we describe the properties of the diaphragms, the nodes, the bars, the shells if we have it. Then we usually introduce the loads in each one of these elements, the loads on nodes, on bars, on shells, on panels, even the surface loads. Then we describe how the joints will be designed, and then we go to the analysis phase where we define if there are nonlinear combinations. We get results from stress and strains, buckling analysis, and also vibrations model analysis that are now available in our software. Okay. Of course, we cannot cover everything today, but if you have been working with Cype 3D in the past versions, you see that most of these options, they were available in menus that were actually inside of other menus, like sub-menus. So it's why we selected this slogan, less clicks, more results, because most of the important tools of the software, they are available here in this ribbon, in this menu in the top of the software. Okay, remembering then that these options that are available here in the lateral bar, they are always here, so they are independent. So you can choose these menus here, and the options, they will be available here. Okay, and everything here can be you can move it. You can just grab one of these options and change the position. Okay, if you work with 2 or more screens, you can grab one of these windows and put it in a screen. And if you want to reset it, just use this button here and use the reset window layout, and it's going to be the default layout here in the software. Okay, and also remember that we have the structure option, but you can change to the foundations, and here in the foundations we also have a new menu in the top, and here we can work with the foundations of the structure. All right, so yeah, let's take a look in some of these options, just a very summarized review of these options. So here in the project option, you define the general data. So it's where you select the code, it's where you define the sections, the loads, you create you select the codes that will be used to check the different parameters of the structure. It's here where you decide if you wanna verify footing sliding or not, how it's gonna be the behavior of the reinforced concrete elements for piles if you have this type of elements. So yeah, here it's where you create your type of steels, type of cold formed steel, type of timber, the material properties actually, okay? It's here where you also can download manufacturer catalogs. For example, there are a list of different manufacturers available here in the software, so you can download the different materials for the sections, for the coatings, for example, for the protection, fire protection of these sections. So you can download these materials here. In this case, we are using the OpenBIM database. So you just log here and then you can download these options. Here you can also set some properties related to the performance for the nonlinear analysis. Here you can create your section libraries, okay? Here you can set how the dimension units will be presented in the software, okay? There are other options related to the way that the elements will be numbered. Here you can also select how the 3D view will be presented, okay? When we talk about the geometry, here you can create a new node. It's very simple. Just create a new node and select a point and you introduce a new node. You can delete a node. You can move a node. The same situation for the bars. You can create a new bar. Just for example, I'll get this node as a reference. Here I will use the orthogonality. So you just have to introduce the bar, okay? And there are other options to transform a normal bar in a column, in a beam. You can delete elements, you can change the section, change the material, you can change the layout, move the end. It means get one of these nodes and move it. You can group or ungroup elements, okay? So there are different options to edit bars here. The same situation for shells. So here you can create a new shell, okay? And there are tools to generate, for example, planes or nodes and bars or tetrahedron meshes, okay? Options here to copy elements, rotate elements, okay? Or even import. That tool that is very, very powerful here at Cype 3D, where you can import a DWG or DXF file and transform the geometry from the DWG into a structure. So this option is available here, okay? Import the geometry of the structure. Once you have this geometry, then you can decide if you have or not diaphragms in your software. Depending on the type of structure you are doing, you can consider there are diaphragms. Even you can generate the diaphragms automatically if you already created the levels of your building, okay? In this type of structure, for example, I don't have these levels. Let's imagine like a building itself, like a skyscraper. You can create these levels and then generate the diaphragms where are located these levels. You can change, for example, the internal or external fixity of a node here, defining this hypothesis of your structural model. You can also introduce the ties, and for the bars, you can set the different parameters that are related to the model, the structural model, like the buckling properties of a bar. For example, if I click here, I can define these buckling properties. The lateral buckling, the same situation, okay? Here you can also set groups and define the fire resistance of each one of these elements. You can decide if one of these elements is going to be pinned or not, okay? Plastic hinges, it's available here, okay? Loads is quite similar. Here you can add loads on nodes, on bars, on shells, okay? For example, if I want to add a load on bar, I just click here, add a new load. Actually, you see the loads that are already introduced here, okay? Let me just open this a little bit more, okay? Here I can select the load case, so self-weight, and here different load cases that I've created. I can see where they are located, or I can view all if I want, okay? So yeah, you can also edit one of these loads if you want, okay? And change the type of loads, the direction, the value. You can define the direction according to the global axis of the project or the local axis of the bar, okay? Yeah, there are different ways of introduce the loads here. Joints, You can create a new one, you can generate a new one. In this case, we are using the component method. So the software here, you can design some types of connections. If you cannot design it here because the connection is too complex, remember that you can then export the project to the BIMserver.center platform, and then using these options here, and then connect with Cype Connect, the software that is a special software to the design of connections using the finite element method, using the OpenSys engine. So yeah, it's using this option here, the BIMserver.center option available on the project tab. Okay. So let's jump to the analysis. I will just analyze the software just to open some of these buttons that are blocked now. You see that after analyzing it, they will be highlighted here and they are now available. For example, here I can get the forces. Is one example. Let's get, for example, the moments in different bars. For example, I can select just one bar, for example, just this one. I can see here the moments. I can select here, let's just open a little bit more this button here. For example, let's get here the display the maximums here just to take a look. Let's change a little bit the scale of these moments, okay? Just to show you how it works. Of course, we have here more options. They are according to the selected load case, okay? Here we have different combinations: deflections, torsional moment, shears, axial forces. Okay, so for example, let's get the axial force here, just to have an idea. Okay, so it's how it works. Another result that we have here is the deformed shape. Okay, deformed shape. So yeah, we open the deformed shape in a new window. Okay. We can even take a look in an animation like this and see the deformed shape here. Okay. Another result that is maybe one of the most important is the check if the elements are safe or not. So by using this option, we will see the results in green or red. So the red elements, they are not safe. The green elements, they are safe. If I click in a red one, the solution that we selected, the section, it was this one, so it's not safe. The first one that would be safe for this structure would be this one, so we have to change it or ask to the software change it for us automatically. And here we can also see the ULS checks for each one of these elements or everything. So I can get one of these elements and see why it's not safe. So I can see that according to the code that I've selected, there is 1 point here or maybe 2 points. Actually, I can filter it here, 2 errors that I have to solve it by selecting a better profile to this part of the structure. Okay. Yeah, this is a little bit an overview about this new interface. Of course, there are more options available here. There are some options that are traditional options that are available here. But yeah, just to show you a little bit an overview about this new interface. But remember, subscribe or register to the webinar where we'll be showing all the details about this new interface, where you can get more information about it. Okay.